Welcome back to Ferry Ferry Important. I hope you had a great Christmas. In this, our third episode, we're breaking down the data from the San Juan Islands Visitors Bureau, presented to the Town of Friday Harbor Town Council this past Thursday. The presenter was Deborah Hoskinson, Executive Marketing Director of the Bureau. Now, I know tourism is just part of our local economy. Ferry reliability issues are damaging all forms of commerce between the islands and with the mainland. Today, let's focus on tourism. This meeting was presented in Zoom, and we recorded it. The audio quality isn't great, but the words are really important. Some of the data was a summary of the 2022 calendar year, but then Deborah delivered some very alarming interim data on 2023. To start, Deborah explained that tourism brought nearly $290 million to the county in 2022, $290 million. And that commerce brought an estimated $23 million into our county and local governments. Here's Deborah.
These are statistics from 2002. So visitors spent a lot of money here. So they break this down from lodging, food and beverage, recreation, retail, transportation, and then $289.7 million were spent here by visitors in 2022. And visitors also generate taxes, as you all know. So $23.3 million in state and local taxes for the county and the towns.
Next, Deborah meant to dispel a myth that tourism in the San Juans happens automatically. She said we must compete in a nice way, year in, year out.
A lot of people just think Seattle comes here all the time. They think about the San Juan Islands all the time. It's not true. That's why we do marketing. We're competing in a nice way, with the coast and Lake Chelan. And Leavenworth is huge. They were just on Good Morning America yesterday. So this is what the islands are up against. Again, we are beloved by our visitors, but these are just facts.
How important is the Seattle visitor to the San Juans? Take a guess, 50% of all visitors? 60% of all visitors?
About 70% of our visitors to this island, this is specific to San Juan Island, are from the Seattle area.
Now, that was all 2022 data. The tone of the data shifts in interim data that changed midsummer. This is really important. Listen.
Comparing 2019 to 2023, because 2019 was our last normal year for tourism. So you'll see in July, we were doing quite well compared to 2019 with the number of visitors, that means spending. But then in August it dropped and September it dropped. And as you know, August is a main peak season, peak month for us. And so is September. So this has been distressing. Lodging tax is down for the town, and lodging tax is also down for the county. So part of the problem is reliable ferries, reliable crews, and good news out there in the Seattle market. That's who's reading all this bad news, is our main feeder market. So One Lodging reported that they've got 500 less rooms already booked in 2024 than they had this time last year for 2023. 500 plus rooms.
Now, Deborah told me in person last week that this is not an official interpretation of the interim data. This is an early analysis of one theory of the data. Could the sharp reversal that started in August be due to something else? What would that be? Inflation? That was old news by August. In fact, all through 2023, the rate of inflation dropped each month. By July, down 2/3 from where it was in January. Something happened in July and August. Something other than ferry reliability? We're all ears. For the moment, the logical explanation seems to be ferry reliability. One more quote from Deborah's presentation Thursday.
Another thing regarding ferries, these reported that this summer they were convincing people on a daily basis to please come. People just stopped, this is a quote, people just stopped considering even coming here because of the ferries and the news, that negative news that was out there.
Tourism is built into the fabric of business and life here. Jobs depend on it. Livelihoods depend on it. The county counts on the rush of cash through the islands in season to have the steam to get through the off season. And this could do long-term damage that may not be easy to reverse. Public perceptions, images in the mass mind can take a long time and a lot of effort to change. I know, I owned an ad agency for 24 years. We can see now that as the WSF reputation erodes, by extension, so does the idea of a visit to the San Juans. This is called a competitive disadvantage, and it's not fair. Few, if any, of the destinations with whom we compete have this competitive disadvantage. Come on, Olympia, we can't live like this for years more. Tell us what's going on. How many people are actually applying to work at WSF? When, truthfully, will we get these new boats? Give us some good news. Call Tom Bridge and fund the inter-island private service and knock down barriers to their service. Call Laura Jo Severson, who is offered to run a Red Cross-style rescue of stranded passengers in Friday Harbor, because the story of at least one of these strandings appears to have circulated in Seattle, according to this data. Because the stakes are higher than you understand, Olympia. And from here, it doesn't look like you get it. We love the ferries. We crave for them to return to their high-quality past. We're ready to meet you more than halfway to find solutions now. Please, Olympia. Tomorrow, we're looking at one of the ways WSF is recruiting new employees. The new employees needed to put an end to the incomprehensibly high ratio of canceled sailings. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.